Welcome to this second Hangout on Air. This week we're going to be looking at alternatives to PowerPoint. So in this session we're looking at alternatives to PowerPoint. However much we'd like to get away from presentations, they're a necessity sometimes to give information. So in this short session we'll go through and look at some alternatives that you may wish to use. So as with last week, I'll share my screen and we'll kick off with the first site. Okay, you should see up in the top right-hand corner, there's some 9 boxes. You click on those 9 boxes, you can type in and ask me any questions that you've got. Also is the showcase items which link to the sites that I'm going to be talking about during this session. So to kick off with, we'll start with going to Canva. So let's chug along to Canva. Canva is available for both iPad and a browser. You can log on and it gives you a number of templates. So let's start looking at that. So across the top, you've got a number of designs you can create. Obviously, we're looking at presentations. So we click on presentation. It'll take a minute to load up. It gives you a number of free templates that you can form as the base of your presentation. So we'll just drag, say, this one across. Very easy, drag and drop. You can update your text. To the text that you require. You can then either duplicate the slide by clicking next to it, or you can just add a new page. You can choose different backgrounds if you want. I tend to suggest you go with a solid background color, so let's go with a blue, but you can put in a particular hex code if you've got a particular color or corporate color that you need to adhere to. Having done that, you can search, and there's a range of shapes and icons. So with Easter upon us, we could choose Easter icons. Very nice, you just pick and drag across. You can then resize them, change the colors to the color that suits your presentation. So you can play around with it, add additional colors. You get the idea. Likewise with text, you've got a range of predetermined text templates that you can edit, or you can just go with standard text. You can type into the text. You can change the font style. And you can also change the color of the text as well. And then you can position that where you want. So very straightforward, nice and easy to use, lots of templates available. When you're finished, you can save it. And then you've got a choice of downloads, either as an image or as a PDF. So my suggestion would be to download it as a PDF, and then you can open that in Acrobat and away you go. So that was the first one. So that's Canva, nice and easy to use, drag and drop facility to create your presentations. So moving on. Another one which works really well, slightly different, has a sort of similar feel to Prezi, and it allows you to navigate through the different images, is eMaze. At the moment, I'm struggling to log on with this one, so we'll go back to the blog and I'll show you an example that I've already created. So we'll click on eMaze and we'll load up my example image. So very straightforward, you can insert the images, but as you see, it allows you to present the images in a 3D environment. So here I've added text, so you could put your text. I've added pictures. Here are some of my pictures here. And as you navigate through the space, hopefully that's looking okay on the screen, you can see the pictures are positioned into a 3D space. So it just makes it a nice visual way of looking at the photographs or the text that you're displaying. Again, putting it into the context of a space. So you get that movement from space to space as you go from slide to slide that you do in Prezi, not quite as potentially vomit-inducing as can be with Prezi. And you can obviously share those presentations across social media or use a link to them. So eMaze, another easy to use presentation tool that you can work with. So that's eMaze. Let's go on again. So next one up is Pictochart. Now, some of you may be familiar with Pictochart, great site for creating infographics, but it also will allow you to create presentations as well. So we'll create a new one. It's the bane of slow internet at the moment, of stuttering. Right, so it gives you a number of free templates that you can adapt, or you can create your own. So let's go with creating our own. You'll see a very similar interface to Canva, and that allows you to drag and drop the elements that you've got. So you can expand each section. Now, when you go into present mode, each section will be the slide. So if you were to make it slightly bigger, that's probably about the proportions of a screen. So when you've created it and you go into present mode, this area here will be the screen that you see. So we can go into backgrounds, and we've got a whole variety of backgrounds that we can choose. So let's go with some green stripes. You can double click on your text. At the top, you can alter the color of your text. We'll go with some white text there. We can then look for graphics, and there's a number of icons we can search for. So search social media, and you've got a number of icons that you can then drag in, and then you can modify. You can then add your text, and again, as with Canva, you can type in the text you want, alter the color of the text, alter the size of the text. If you like that as a background and a basis for your slide, you can very easily clone that block and do your next block. So when you finished all of that, you've got a choice to publish it online, or you can download it in an image format, which you can then add to your presentation. So another nice tool for creating presentations, similar to Canva in the ease of use, that is drag and drop the elements that you require. There are some paid elements, but it will tell you quite clearly that they're only 68p for the paid elements. But if you don't use a paid element, then that's completely free. So far we've looked at Canva, eMaze, and Pictochart. Let's go back to the blog and pick another one. So we'll just rattle back to the blog, back through eMaze. Just wait for technology to catch up with us. So the next one we're going to look at is HiCodec. Again, very similar presentation tool. So let's bring that one up. So this is HiCodec. Lets you create presentations both on iPad and on the web. And you can sign in with your social media accounts if you choose to. So we'll do that. You just have to authorize the app. I've already created one, so I'll edit that. So you've got another number of templates there. You've got different slide layouts you can choose. You can add pictures, so you can search for pictures that are out there already. Change your layout, add notes to your presentation. And when you're finished, it's very easy to share, or you can export that as a PDF or as a PowerPoint. So slightly different interface, probably the closest PowerPoint looking one, but a simpler and easier to use interface. And if you're on a machine without access to PowerPoint, then it's a great one, worth a try. So we'll come up with the last one we're going to look at in today's session. We'll go back to the blog. And we'll just wait for that to load up. So the last one we're going to look at, and remember with a blog you can use keywords to search what you're after. And the last one's slightly different, is SnapGuide. SnapGuide.com allows you to create illustrated instruction guides, but they also work quite well for presentations. In this case, they're showing us how to cook a piece of meat, but you could add your information, your slides in there. So it's a website and an app which you can download, add your photographs, and if you're looking to produce information for students, it's quite a nice way to share that. So there we go. We've gone through a number of different alternatives for presentations. I hope you found that useful. Any questions or comments or any ideas on future topics you want me to cover, stick them in the comments box at the bottom, and I look forward to seeing you next time.